what the last digit of your birth year, the year you were born, the last digit, what that reveals about you and your future and your destiny is going to absolutely shock you. And really, it can change your entire life because it's going to help you predict and control your future with much more accuracy. The truth is that Buddhist monks have known for centuries that secrets in numbers are based in their frequency, that every number has a specific frequency, and those frequencies help determine and control your life, your future, your personality, the challenges that you have in your life, based exactly on the last digit of your birth year. The crazy thing is, when I went through this, based on my birth year, it was kind of insane, let's just say, how accurate it was. This is going to help you solve challenges that you have, know your destiny, and to manifest a life that you want much faster and with really much more accuracy, because you're going to be able to predict or foreshadow the obstacles, the challenges, and this is going to speed the whole thing up. So if you've ever wondered why certain things are happening in your life, you can't make sense of certain things, or you're just trying to find your destiny, create your reality, achieve your goals, all of that isn't by luck. It's not by chance. It's not by fate. It's based off of law or code. It's an equation, and the equation is determined by the last digit in your birth year. You aren't controlled by these, but you can start to have a lot more control over your reality once you understand these. Now, before we dive into this video, if you haven't yet, make sure that you get my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. About 1 million people from all over the world have used it, like literally from all over the world, almost every country. It's free. All you got to do is listen to it for a couple minutes every day, and it's going to start to reprogram your subconscious. Because the reason you don't have what you want, like if you want more money and you don't have it, you don't have the success you want, there's a certain goal you want, desires for relationships, career, adventure, whatever it is that you want in your life. If you don't have it, it's just because of subconscious blocks and subconscious resistance from things that you've inherited all the way back in childhood by your parents, by adults, by caretakers who meant well, but you inherited these things that are literally blocking you. And if you listen to this, it's going to reprogram your subconscious. So it basically becomes a magnet because it controls 95% of your life. So you can program it to become a magnet to get what you want quicker, faster, and easier into your life. And it's free, jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned to the comments and in the description, so make sure you check that out. When we go through these numbers, let me know what number you are. You have your last digit of your birth year, so you can comment that one down below. I'm 1. Let me know which you are in the comments down below, and let's dive right into it. Let's start with if your birth year ends in 0. So you carry the energy of emptiness and infinite potential, just like an empty cup that can be filled. 0 in Buddhist philosophy is the beginning and the end. So people with this number, they tend to experience like deep periods of renewal and transformation in their life, like almost like you're like rising out of the ashes, like a butterfly cocooning before it grows its wings and it can fly. So this can bring blessings, this can bring challenges and confusion if you don't understand this. That's why I'm saying it's so important to understand and keep watching for your number. So if you're a 0, patience is key, is like really trusting that this is something that your soul chose to have these types of renewals and cycles. If your birth year ends in 1, which mine does, this is like big on individuality. You're big on like leadership. It represents initiative. You're kind of like a black sheep a little. You might go through a period where you feel weird or confused, or other people do, because you're going and walking in a unique way in life. And this is a strength, but it can also be a weakness because it can lead to a lot of isolation. So you feel like no one understands you, and you feel like no one understands your vision. And that's what happened to me. That's why I said it was crazy when I looked at that, because I dropped out of college. I got this calling for my life. I wanted to become an author and a speaker. Everyone thought I was crazy. And I went through this period where like all my old friends, they were making fun of me, and like they thought I was weirdo. Like they wanted to play like beer pong and like party in college, and I wanted to go do that. And there's nothing wrong with either, but like it made me question myself. So if you end in a 1, you might question yourself. You might feel uncomfortable because you go through periods of loneliness or isolation, but really that loneliness and isolation is the key, if you embrace it, for you to develop new skills and for you to advance in your destiny and your purpose. Like once I embrace that, I'm like, okay, I guess this season of life, like I'm kind of a loner. That allowed me to write my first book, get it published in my early 20s, to build this YouTube channel, to get a couple books published with big publishers. So if you use that wisely, you're going to actually, it's like speeding up time to get what you want faster in your life. Now, if your birth year ends in 2, really you are the embodiment of like duality and harmony. And this number is about balance, yin yang, light dark. Like you are a balanced person. So you have a deep sensitivity to others. You're very in tune with other people's feelings, and you're a mediator kind of person. You bring your family together. But it's important to be aware, if you're a 2, this is the danger that you can lose touch with yourself. Like it's easy to sacrifice, avoiding conflict and being like a bridge barrier. And then you lose yourself, or you forget who you are because you're trying to be numerous people to please other people. And my wife is a 2, and the way she was so valuable to me. And so you may find 2 are really compatible in relationships with a lot of people, especially with me as a 1, because I'm like a very obsessive A-type personality. Like I could just be by myself for a week working on. And so she was great because she brought so much more balance to my life and like pulled me out of my head being so far in the clouds. And in her life, she also, the things we talked about with some of the weaknesses with 2, she struggled with that, where she was trying to be, she was like a unifier in all of her different kinds of relationships, in her family, in her life. As she's getting older, she was trying to find out, who is me? And so if you embrace that and the fact that you're this really empathetic, really connected person, you'll also find you're really creative. My wife is super creative. Before she started having babies and being a mom, she became a really big artist. She was making 6 figures selling art. So you might be a really creative person as well. And it's something to keep in mind if you're a 2. Now, 3s. So if your birth year ends in a 3, you're super creative. You're like creativity personified and expressed. So this number represents union of body, mind, spirit. You're vibrant, you're joyful, you're connected to your imagination. So there's a chance that you're a great communicator, artist, creative person. But sometimes when you're this type of person, creative energy can get really scattered. So your challenge might be to focus, discipline, and to pick one thing, because you might be super creative in music and painting and art and in business, and you're doing a little bit of everything, and that's keeping you away from really progressing in your destiny. Moving on to number 4, and if you're with me here, make sure you hit the like button on this video. Give me a comment down below that says, I know my destiny, I control my destiny. So 4's your structure type of person, right? So 4 represents the 4 elements: earth, water, fire, air, right? All directions on a compass. We got 4. So you're practical, you're organized, you're driven, Maybe you like to build, you want to build things that are lasting. You have dedication, you're a rock for other people, but it's important to keep in mind not to get too rigid if you're a 4, right? Learning to adapt, to let go sometimes, to have some more patience, flexibility. And when you can really master this or start to be aware that this is a common tendency with your birth year, it can really open up the door for your destiny to speed up. 5. So if your birth year ends in 5, you are freedom, you're an adventurer. One of my best friends is, and he's like super adventurous, like camping all the time type. Oh, I'm heading out. Just like, where are you going? I don't know. Someplace. I'll find somewhere I'm going to camp. So you're always seeking like new horizons. You're not afraid of change, but your restless energy can make it hard to commit and really grow things like the way that you can and the way that you want to, because you're okay with lots of variety and change and not being rooted. And this, my friend, he's like that. And he was going through a stage where he had his kid and he was getting his family all organized, but he was still like so adventurous. And he's like, I'm struggling to really get stable income in my business. And I'm like, okay, well, the thing about you is why I love you so much and you're so amazing is you're so free and adventurous and light. And I'm going to go here, camp here, and I'm going to go to the mountains today. You want to come? But because of that, you've never given your real passion the opportunity to flourish into a business. And so he practiced getting more rooted and having a little bit more structure with his schedule. His started making more money than he ever had in his life. The benefit of that is then he can structure his time where he has his grounded time and his ungrounded time, and he has more freedom for that because now he has higher cash flow. So that's something to keep in mind if that's you. If your birth year ends in 6 now, 6, you are compassion, your service. 6 is the number of nurturing, love, you're a caregiver. You always have like, you're tending to others. You're creating loving, safe environments. You might be an awesome person to create an amazing home and family, whether you're a man or a woman. You're great at that stuff. You're great at really helping relationships flourish. You might be an awesome person bringing up children. Now, one of the things with that is you can have a tendency to put so much energy into others that you can forget about yourself. So it's important to keep in mind that as your cup's full, then that's what allows it to overflow, and that can help you fill up others even more. Now, 7. If your birth year ends in 7, you are wisdom. You're introspection. 7 is the number of a spiritual seeker, like a wise person. You're intuitive. You're drawn to the mysteries of life. You have a thirst for inner knowledge, spiritual truth. But it's important to be aware of like becoming isolated, because you're going to have a tendency for that. I'm a 7 in my day of birth, and I have that as well. So something to keep in mind is, how do you use your passion, your curiosity for knowledge, for wisdom, for learning something, whether it's like guitar and you get really into that, or it's like neuroscience, it could be spirituality. Allow yourself, instead of it being an extracurricular activity, you have the internet today. Allow yourself to really embrace that and serve people. And you can turn that also into your job, your career, your profession, and you can blend the two instead of spiritual thing and this curiosity and passion that you have just being an extracurricular activity after you're done with all the adult life stuff. Now, 8. If yours ends in 8, you are your power, abundance. 8 is the number of material success. It's a balance between spiritual and physical worlds. You're ambitious, you're focused, you're driven to like achieve great things. But your challenge is to stay grounded, right, in your spiritual purpose, because it's easy to really get lost in goals and pursuit to such a degree that you lose touch with some of that spiritual inspiration. And that when combined together, is how you really amplify the power of 8s. 9, if your birth year ends in 9, you are completion, your compassion. 9 represents the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. Oh, you're an old soul. You may be told, like, you're older than you look, and you're someone that cares a lot about, like, the suffering of others and the world. But you got to be careful not to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders or other people's hurt on your shoulders. So it's important to learn setting healthy boundaries and to take care of yourself just the same way that you want to take care of others, because you can't change the world if you don't take care of yourself and change yourself first. All right, now that you know the meaning of your number, the question is, how can you apply this wisdom in your life? Like, reflecting on your patterns, the patterns you've experienced, the patterns you're experiencing now, challenges that you keep facing, the desires that you have, the goals that you have. This number is not here to control you. It's here to guide you. It shows you the energy that shaped your journey and your reality. So give me a comment down below. Let me know what number you are. I'd love to know what number you are and where in the world you're coming from too with your number. That'd be cool. So you just ask yourself, like, am I embracing my role? Like, what is here to show me, to teach me? And what I invite you to do, if you haven't yet, is get my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned to the comments and in the description. It's right there down below. It's my free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind to help you manifest your destiny quicker, faster, easier, more gracefully, really, because you don't have all the same resistance and friction and challenges as normal, because a lot of that is just old subconscious conditioning that is manifesting. But if you reprogram your subconscious, then you eliminate that friction, that resistance. And that's why things move a lot faster and easier in your life. It's free, jakeshypnosis.com. Let me know what number you are right there down below. And thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, bell notification if you enjoy it. Wishing you a beautiful, awesome day. Thanks for watching.